Bitgert seems to be the new Solana killer. I noticed several whales holding BRISE token several months ago, but not so much right now. But a lot of retail investors seems to be investing in this token, thinking that it will be the next Solana killer. So what is it? Will it be the next Solana killer? Is this the next big thing? We'll try and understand that in today's video. I'll walk you through four important things, right? What's the technology behind it? What's the roadmap and metrics? The risks, and what should you really be doing? We'll try and analyze all this. Now, what is Bitgert? Now, Bitgert is a general purpose blockchain. Right? They are saying that they're the fastest growing ecosystem with more than 250,000 community members. It's a zero cost blockchain, more than 1 million transactions, etc., etc. So all the usual noise related to a blockchain coming out saying that they're fast and scalable, they're decentralized, zero gas fee, and so on. But is that really the truth? What's really happening? Well, now let's try and understand this. What is Bitgert? If you look at their technology, right, now Bitgert uses something called proof of authority. So what is proof of authority? Proof of authority is where you designate a few people to add a block, right? And how does that happen? Well, if you want to be a validator, 51% of the existing validators need to vote to add you to become a validator. And if say they have to drop somebody, that's again 51% of them have to vote to get you dropped. So one thing that I really liked about Bitgert is that the well-written documentation, or is it? Now let's look at this. If you look at the documentation on the website, right, extremely well written, right, easy to understand. It's good. It looks exhaustive, and I was pretty impressed. But then I started clicking on links, right, and this happens. The page is missing. For some reason, every single documentation, the page seems to be missing. Then let's look at the startup studio, right? So what is Bitgert really trying to do? Now they're trying to make this EVM compatible and interoperable, because this seems to be the buzzword, right? This is, interoperability is like what everybody is trying to achieve, because there are so many blockchain islands floating around and people really want things to be interoperable so you can move things around. On paper, this is a great idea that they're trying, that if it's EVM compatible, then you can easily move apps from let's say an Ethereum to the BRISE ecosystem. That's what they're trying to achieve. And they also give you something called Startup Studio, through which you can raise funds and so on. So in that way, they seems to be making the right noise. Now let's look at the roadmap. So they have an extensive 3-year roadmap. You can check that out. If you go to the roadmap section, right from July, they tell you what exactly are they trying to do, all the way up to I think about 2025. They have an extensive roadmap detailing for every 3 or 6 months what they're really trying to do. This was impressive, honestly. In terms of the documentation, in terms of what they have put here, it seems great. On paper, all this seems great, right? And the ecosystem support, right? In fact, there seems to be several tokens that have raised funds using this BRC20 smart contract, right? So the Startup Studio is helping people raise funds, entrepreneurs, business owners, etc. But what I didn't really understand is how so many sectors like chemical, construction, etc., or even oil for that matter, which at least today Web3 projects are not really big on, seem to be supported here. So that really confuses me on why that is really happening. Then great metrics on paper. Is this a Solana killer on the cards? So they give you a block scan. However, I did not see into the block or any of these third parties that usually do chain analytics have access to this. I didn't see Bitgert anywhere, but they have their own BRISE scan where you can go and check out the transactions that are happening, etc., etc. So that's available. There are 100 plus tokens in the ecosystem, so you can go to the token section and you'll see that there are over 100 plus tokens that are part of this ecosystem. So all this so far so great, right? Now here are the risks. This is what I'm most afraid of. High concentration on BRISE. Why is that important? Because if you look at this, one smart contract alone probably holds 57%. This must be the treasury. There's another one 41%, and everybody else holds like less than 1%. If any one of these decides to dump it, because we don't know the schedule of this coming out, because we don't even know what the circulating supply or the possible total supply of BRISE is, because that's not really mentioned everywhere. Some numbers indicate it could be about 1,000 trillion. That's the total supply. What is circulating supply? Not too sure about it. On coin market cap and so on, there are some numbers, but that's what they have derived, not really given out by Bitgert itself. Now this is extremely high concentration, and that's risk number one, because price could drop like crazy at any point of time. Addition and deletion of validators. This is very shady, because if if let's say me and my friends decide to start something, and then we get to choose who is the next validator and so on, we will always we have the ability to always put people that we want, and we have the ability to drop people that we want. Right? So that seems like a bit of a concentration risk, and that's what I'm afraid of there. Then the team seems to be missing, and the white paper is an absolute joke. Right? Let's start with the white paper. The white paper is 6 pages but doesn't really say anything. It's like a copy pasting of the roadmap here. That's it. This is the white paper. It is an absolute joke. And then I tried searching for team, and I couldn't find the team. I couldn't find who the founder was. I couldn't find any member of this particular project. Right? The team section on their website is missing. Then I found that others are also asking the same questions. Right? People are asking, can you help me find these members? And in fact, many people are suspecting that the people who are mentioned there are not really Bitgert members, but they are actually AI generated images. They had an image on their website. Let me just try and show that to you here. These were supposedly the team members, but most people are suspecting that these are AI generated images because they don't seem to exist on LinkedIn or anywhere. If you guys can probably find them, then do show it in the link it in the description. Link it in the comments, and I'll try and look at it. Then there are several shady pieces in the puzzle. Right, that's what is really scary. Currency.com has probably written this amazing article. I've linked this. I'll try and go through the important points in this article right now, so that you understand what are the severities. Their audit service is highly questionable. They audit themselves, right? So if you look at any of these audits, they are auditing themselves, which makes no sense. Why would you? An audit is not supposed to be done for yourself. Then their charities are questionable, right? If and reverse image search on these charities show that these are stock images taken from different websites. So that is really questionable. Bitgert's online presence is another question that they have raised on. All these are on Twitter, all these messages seems to be bot generated. So that's another scary thing, because look at these messages, all are exactly the same messages. These are most likely bot generated messages. This team is not found, right? Most people are not able to find it. On Reddit and elsewhere, people are asking the same question. All these articles are being promoted, so probably this blockchain or the people behind this project are indulging in trying to make it more SEO friendly, trying to sort of get it promoted so that it's there along with the other known projects. Then there is this, right, the Bitgert blockchain itself. Now somebody says that there's evidence to suggest that BRISE chain was developed by a third party rather than Bitgert itself. Before being removed, Bitgert's logo briefly appeared on the homepage of Windax, an organization that sells pre-packaged blockchain solutions for under $5,000. Isn't that, like, this is really scary? If somebody has just bought a blockchain off the shelf and they're trying to raise money for it, definitely scary. And this is something that you need to be like really scared of. There are a bunch of other red flags that these guys have highlighted. I've linked this article in the description. You can go through it. Now, having said all this, right, what should you really be doing? Well, first thing is you can get free BRISE, right? Maybe try and get that. Right? There is a faucet. I've linked that as well in the description. You enter your address and you'll get some free BRISE. Maybe try and get some free BRISE. Nothing more than that, I would say. And be careful if you're thinking of investing. The price of Bitcoin is extremely low, right? Now, these are things that make people happy, right? Because for $1, you will get like hundreds of this coin. And people are very happy about it. But we don't know what the circulating supply is. We don't know what the market cap is. Total supply itself is questionable. So be careful of that. These are extremely small cryptos that can fluctuate a lot in terms of price, right? They can go up significantly, they can go down significantly because the price per token or per coin is so less. Be careful of that. Then go through the links in the description. I've put all this. And lastly, do your own research. Right? Though this crypto on paper seems awesome, but you saw that there are several red flags, and I would ask you to be extremely cautious. I would rather recommend you to be extremely cautious. I've linked all this research that I've done in the description. You can go through it yourself and then decide what to do. I also noticed one thing, that the whales on let's say whalestats.com, right, where the website scans for different whales, the whales who used to hold BRISE token several months ago today are not holding it. I did not see that as a significant holding. So that's something, that's an indicator that you have to be careful, right? All this is a red flag. Please go through it, please be careful. This could be another scam that is just waiting to happen. So please be careful and try to go through all this, do your own research, because it's your hard-earned money after all. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it. Welcome to the Wave Crypto Club. Stay tuned for more such amazing videos.